Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the
Mm.
show. I am your host, June Archer. You are now inside the winner's circle. My special guest today, this brother has been doing his magic, mogul making, entrepreneurial, sprinkling, whatever adjective that lets you know that he is winning. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stream, Ian Dunlap, the master investor, aka the stock market expert. Ian, welcome to the show. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Thank you for the intro. I got to put you on payroll. Uh,
Listen,
that's a
it
hell of
don't
an
cost
intro.
much.
Thank you.
It don't cost you much. It don't cost
I
much.
appreciate you. That's amazing. You making my day already. So I'm
Like
excited to
mine,
chat with you.
like mine. Ian, I want to start by asking, how have you been over these past 2 years? COVID, as we're trying to find some normalcy. How have you
hmm
been? How's your family been?
Family is good, man. I got COVID twice, so that was a little battle, but we've all been through worse. I think what COVID really exposed is that we need to stick together more. We need more time with our family. Definitely financially, we have to prepare for what's to come as we're heading into this recession. But the family's good, man. Like you said before we start filming, I woke up today. Family's alive. I can't complain, man. It could always be worse.
Yeah, and we're going to jump into a lot of those things, man. I want to talk about your perspective on the recession and investing, but I want to start with something that was exciting over the past year. Invest Fest
hmm
ATL,
Oh man.
man, what an amazing event! But if it couldn't get any better,
hmm
Invest Fest Europe, you you go over there, you slam dunk it over there. Take me back to ATL, how that felt this year. I had the opportunity to kick it with Troy and Rashad. We had a great
Shout out to the
interview.
guys.
Come to,
Yeah.
come to find out, they're right around the corner from me. So we're just
Oh,
trying to
that's
figure out how
fire.
to get together and make some magic happen, have lunch, and have a meeting of the minds. But you had the opportunity to work with these gentlemen. You've been rocking and rolling together. Talk to me about InvestFest ATL and what it meant to rock it there and then go over to Europe and make the magic happen again.
Man, it was incredible to have 12,000 people in the building to want to learn about investing, money, finance, and then also too to see Steve Harvey perform and give insight on advice in the music industry and what he did to become the icon he is there. It definitely inspired me, and it made. I'm gonna be honest. It made me go back to the drawing board of my presentation and be like, I
Wow.
got to step it up because, like, as a comedian, his cadence to be able to talk about life, then religion, the things that he went through, then be funny, then give tips. You can see why he's master, And my mom tells me every time I see Steve, like, tell him I saw him at Airy Crown Theater back in the day in '99. So it hits different for my family. And then, like, I went on stage after Tyler Perry. So to see him, and that's a lot of pressure. So I'm like, God, I've been good. I've been obedient. I'm not as good as I should be, but guide me through this because that's a hell of an act to follow up. And the people said that I did a great job. So then to go to London and for me and Wall Street Trapper to present together, that's my guy. To be able to have that moment, to be able to present with him and give people the information on how to make money during this recession was truly an honor. We never got the 50 and J album, so it kind of felt like that when we were on stage in London.
Right.
Um, and just taking inspiration, seeing 50 and doing a world tour and taking elements from hip hop and putting them into the stage show while being entertaining and informative. Because usually people are really entertaining and inspirational, but the information isn't good, or the
Right.
information is amazing, but it's so boring. It feels like we're back in school. So hip hop has definitely had a great influence on me, Troy Rashad, the InvestFest stage, and of course coming up soon Madison Square, which I have to have you at. Since you
Oh,
in Westchester, I got to have you come to the Garden.
bro, I'll be there. You tell me what you need me to do. You know I'm the master host, the moderator. I got you.
Hey,
You
let's go.
you,
I
you
love
say
it.
say less. And I tell you, I got a little bit at 50 in me. We've spent so much time together and had so many great conversations that it's changed my perspective from going from recording artist to executive to TV
hmm
personality. Like the journey has been amazing. So when you talk about hip hop and how we are incorporating it into education and financial literacy is
hmm
super important. So I want to shift and ask you, how important is financial literacy not only for our culture, Ian, but for
hmm
the next generations that come behind us? Because our young people are talking about getting the bag. But I believe that that's just a saying. It's kind of performative. They don't really
Yes.
understand what getting the bag is or securing the bag. How important is financial literacy now more than ever for our culture and the next generation?
I'm honored to answer that question, but being a 50 fan, I would be crazy if I didn't ask you, what are like the 3 biggest lessons you've learned being around him?
The 3 biggest lessons for me was, one, making sure that you are loyal to those that are allowing you the opportunity to grow and develop, to be your best
Hmm.
version of yourself. That's one. 2 is always educate yourself about
Yes.
your craft. And 3, if you're going to do it, execute it to the best of your ability, like
Hmm.
your life depended on it. And that's where the get rich or die trying comes from,
I love
right?
that.
It's all execution. Everyone can have talent, everyone can have passion, everyone
Hmm.
can have those extra things that you see in the combine, right? Who could jump higher, who could jump longer,
Yeah.
who could run faster. But if you can't execute
And be consistent in the execution.
and be consistent. Those are the
Absolutely.
3 things that I've learned over the years. And I had the opportunity to work on Get Rich or Die Trying, an
That's
album,
incredible.
right? The album and in the movie, right?
That's
And that's
incredible.
like, it's dope because I tell cats, like, man, you, as an artist, I didn't have this kind of success. I had
Hmm.
some, but I didn't. But when you get behind the scenes and you see that there are opportunities to work behind the scenes, and you don't have to sell one record, you ain't
Yeah.
got to rap, you ain't got to sing, you ain't got to produce one song, and I could create a $250,000 opportunity by placing this song. It,
See,
man, come, but
that's incredible.
whenever you need me, Ian, I told you I got you. I
We,
know this
we
is
definitely need to talk, and that brings us to the point of why literacy is important. Because in rap culture, we were told to get the money, but I feel like a lot of, even in the infrastructure of the labels, they'll help you get the money to then take it from you. Like, how many artists have we heard made a bunch of money and then the manager takes advantage of them? Or even in some of the situations the artists are going through now, where they're signing over power of attorney, and the attorney are ruining their businesses, signing away deals that they never wanted to be a part of. So getting the money is one thing, but growing it, multiplying it, and keeping it is completely another thing. So that's where we come in. So after artists get the bag, I want to give you a blueprint for how to be able to keep it. So if you never sell another record, if you never go on tour again, you're still able to make the same kind of money and then eventually pass that down to your children.
And that is key, because people say, "Oh, how much money you make?" It's not always how much money you make; it's how much you
You
save,
keep.
and
Yep.
how you. So it's super important. I want to talk about the Red Panda Academy.
Yeah.
Very proud to know that you are making your magic happen and really putting your, what I like to call, your digital real estate, your digital
Thank you.
footprint, your carbon footprint on what is to come and leaving a legacy. Tell us about the Red Panda Academy.
Yeah, Red Panda Academy is my tribe where I teach people how to invest in the market long term and how to trade. So for me, when I was originally watching CNBC back in the day, I wish someone would have just said, "Hey, buy Apple," or back in the day, Research in Motion that owned BlackBerry, buy it at this price, hold it for this long, at this price, get out. Because with our people, we want to invest, but we don't have anyone to guide us and make it very clear. So I look at myself as like an executive producer in the financial space to be able to tell you when to get in, when to get out, what not to buy. So like last year when Bitcoin was on fire, I was telling everyone it's going to drop back down to 20,000. Mike Novogratz came on the show Market Mondays that I do with Troy and Rashad, and he was like, that's actually the levels that hedge funds are looking to buy. This was 9 months ago. We're still hovering at that $19,000 mark now. And when everybody was buying it at 60 or 55, they lost a lot of money. So for me, I want to tell you when to get in, where to get out so you can profit, and you pay a small fee per year and you get to keep all your profit on the upside. So it is what I call the culture's hedge fund, because everyone's always like, when are you going to do a fund? I'm like, between Market Mondays and Red Panda, that is the fund. Like I'm happy to say that I've made tens of thousands of people money. I always ask everyone, if I made you money, put yes in chat. I do it at Atlanta. I had 12,000 people scream that I was making the money. So I want to help more people at scale be able to understand that investing is really easy, especially when you have someone guiding you. So you go to joinredpanda.com. And if you want to learn how to invest long term, you can join Stock Club. If you want to learn how to trade, you can join Alpha. But in 2023, I'll be combining both into one program so you get it all in one place.
A conglomerate of some sort.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. And let's do this for those who are watching, those who are listening, who may be neos to this game. They are ignorant to the game, respectfully.
Yeah.
What is the key to success when investing? What's the first rule of thumb for the person who is, man, I'm a virgin to this. I don't know nothing. I'm afraid. The thing I know is Mama said keep the money under the mattress.
Yeah.
But we all know keeping the money under the mattress don't make you no money.
No money, and it's dangerous. So the first thing is, especially in our culture, I always tell everyone we already know how to invest. If I ask 100 people in the room right now, what's the number one technology company in the world? Most people are going to say Apple. What's the number one electronic vehicle company in the world? Most people are going to say Tesla. And we as a culture make everything hot. So we can't say that we have the influence and power and that we don't know how to invest. They brainwash us into thinking that we don't know, so we don't monetize fast enough so that they can put us in bad deals. Number two, you want to pick a company that is going to be dominant and that the fans absolutely love. It's no different than picking an artist to sign to a label. So like Lil Baby's on fire right now, Young Boy's on fire. That will be Apple and Microsoft. Like if I ask any creative, what tools or what software are you using and what platform is it on? It's usually on Apple. So I tell people invest in tech. The two big ones are Apple and Microsoft. If you invest in healthcare, invest in like Eli Lilly or Stryker. They make all the beds for the hospitals, and just invest in the top two. And if you don't know how to invest, just look around you, see what you're buying. Most people have an iPhone. Invest there, and then also you can do index funds. So index funds are like an all-star team. So if you don't know what to buy, VOO is a good one. That's Vanguard's S&P 500. So when they talk about the market, they're referring to the S&P. It's the 500 biggest companies in the world. That is like a conglomerate. It's like Universal Music Group. Like they own every label, every artist. That's an easy way to hedge. And then after you have that foundation, you can then buy into tech or other sectors and just pick the top two, and you're good.
Awesome, because I was going to ask you what were the best companies to invest in. So I'm glad we tackled that, and we talked about Bitcoin. But to crypto or not to crypto, Ian, like where are we? Some people are ignorant to that game. Some people saying it's a fallacy. Some people saying it's not real. Without putting you in the hot seat,
Yeah.
what is your best estimation of to crypto or not to crypto?
I think you should have some exposure to crypto. Is just the percentage in your portfolio that you have. So maximum 20%, because it's still a risky bet. And as the economy, because last year everyone was saying that crypto was a hedge to the overall market. And the truth is anything that makes money, and we've seen this in every industry, anything that makes money, the big players are going to find a way to get involved with it and control it. So in the same fashion that Young Boy's putting out an album, it seems like every month, and he's doing all these numbers on YouTube, the labels find a way to get in bed with him. Crypto was a great idea for the people at first, and then all the hedge funds and banks began to invest in crypto to then take it over. So you should have probably 20% maximum exposure. It's going to go down when stocks go down, but it's going to rise as stocks do as well. And invest in the big three. So like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Ripple is like a dark horse. But if you have $100, only put $20 worth of money into crypto so you can be safe, because the drawdowns or the maximum amount of money that you can lose can be up to 80%. Now the upside is incredible. You can make 1,000% return, but most people are buying these assets at too high of a price to make it worth their while. So yes, I'm pro crypto, but you have to have safety first and then build the more volatile assets into your portfolio after that.
Okay, so the safety first part is the smart portion of investing,
like Apple,
sure.
Microsoft index funds, and you see labels do this the same way. So like Drake is a safe bet, not a lot of drama. Crypto is like Kodak. You gonna have some hits and you gonna like spin, walk, but he may have a weekend where he get mad and let some things fly. And it's like, oh man, maybe we shouldn't have got a bet in him, And then like Ethereum's like Yay is a good investment until he goes crazy, and it's like, oh my Lord, they're gonna cancel you. So it's all about exposure. And the thing I want people to see is that banks, hedge funds, record labels all run. The NBA runs the same way. They're going to bank on safety. So the NBA, LeBron James, Giannis, Kobe in the past, Tim Duncan for a little safe. Allen Iverson, more volatile. Barkley, more volatile. Jordan was safer. So you want to have safety in your account first, because everyone wants the upside when the asset is going up. But when you're down 50%, we both know a lot of people get into a lot of trouble when they're down 50%.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Don't
it's
be the
not
Dennis.
fun to
Don't be
lose
the
it.
Dennis Rodman. Just don't have
No, you
Dennis
can't be.
Rodman. Make sure you have the BJ Armstrong. That's a little safe.
You need safety first, and then you can go aggressive, and have more volatility in your account after that.
I appreciate you breaking that down. I think a lot of people are going to appreciate that, Ian.
Thank
I
you.
did, because you're breaking it down. It's real life. It's
Absolutely.
perspective that we can take bite-sized pieces. Here's the thing. It's fourth quarter, right? You're rushing. Black Friday is getting ready to come in to take over. Cyber Mondays and Cyber Fridays is coming. Everybody's trying to get that last bit of money. My question to you is, as we're ending the fourth quarter and we're getting ready for 2023, tax time is going to come quick.
Yes, very quick.
What do you say to the layperson who is afraid to invest? What do you say to the person who's an entrepreneur? What is the best use as we're going into 2023, as we're hearing the rumblings of we're getting ready to go into a recession?
Yes.
What is the best use of your tax return for 2023?
I would say put 40% of the money into 2 stocks that you love. Put 40% of it into a business idea to make you more money, and then 20% to have fun with. If I tell you to put 100% of the money away, you're going to be like, bruh, don't ever have him back on, right? Because the truth is, if you worked all year,
Right.
you get a surplus of money, you do want to enjoy some of the fruits of your labor. What I want us to have, though, is an endless pipeline for money coming in consistently. And the best 2 ways to do that is through the stock market and being an entrepreneur. And a lot of times they try and make us think it's one or the other. And the truth is, most business owners are having a lot of trouble right now, and it takes a while for a business to take off. But instead of buying an iPhone, why not use Tim Cook's resources, all of their marketing to make you money? You then can learn and sit on the board meetings and go to the annual report, seeing what they do to market their business. Use it for your business. Now you're making money in 2 ways, and you get to go to Starlist after and have fun. That's the real mix that we really need to have. And I want us to use that kind of income and tax return money to be a multiplier for us. Because what normally happens, we get the money, we get 5 or 6 grand in, and in 2 months we don't know where it went. At least this way,
Right.
I want you to turn that money and be able to generate tax return kind of money every month or every quarter for you. And if you do 40, 40, 20, that's a good way to be able to generate that kind of money for you on the back end.
But some will say, I want to play devil's advocate.
Go ahead.
All right, Ian, 40, 40, 20. I get you, bro. But listen, mama and them, they need a new fridge. Now it's getting colder on the East Coast.
Yeah, it's getting cold.
The gas prices are a little high. They saying we're in a recession. I can't do 40, 40, 20. And you like that don't seem real to me, because
we'll do 40% fun and
Christmas.
60% away. But if we don't make a change and make an adjustment and make a sacrifice, we're going to be on this endless loop of always needing money. And here's the truth. If we don't see someone that looks like us do it, to everyone who may have pushback, look at the 10 or 15 people whose lives you can impact by saying, I did do 40, 40, 20, and 2 years from now, instead of having 6,000 back, I now have 18,000 or 20,000 back as a result. So I get it. If you're in a bind and your mom needs something, you need to fix the heat in your car, I get it. But I don't want this to be the only time that we see this kind of money come in. And if they're watching this show and this broadcast, I know they are inspired to have more money. We have to sacrifice for a year or 2 in order to get the financial pop that we need. It's like telling an artist, hey, I don't want to record every day, and I don't want to sacrifice being in the studio for 2 years to have a hit album. I'm like, if you sacrifice for those 2, you won't even care about the income or tax money in 2 years. But especially during a recession, the best time to start a business is now. Companies need more help than ever. Social media is falling apart. There are businesses, ideas out here on the East Coast that people need, that if you put time and resources into, you can, like even with us, Market Mondays became a hit inside of 8 months. 2 years later, we're now doing London, doing a garden. We got some plans next year to be in Toronto. Like 2 years can change your life if you buckle down. Most people don't want to sacrifice. But would you rather sacrifice 2 years and get rich in the process, or not sacrifice at all and be in the same place year after year? I think most people would give up those 2 years to have
So
some
it's a
real
mindset.
success.
It's a mindset and a discipline.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we talked about it before. You have everyone's talented. Everyone has ideas. Who's going to execute the longest? I will much rather be walking around and going to Dolce right now and walking around Midtown, but I'm here with you, building with you, and hoping we can have a deeper relationship. Still studying and mastering the craft. And if we look at 50, even when he did the films, that led to Power, and that led to the whole Power universe, right? So you can see the inkling of the creativity, even in Power of the Dollar and all the mixtapes. But look how long he worked on his craft to then write albums, write hits, write film, now write shows. If you can architect that, why can't he redesign Queens and put up 7 buildings? Like, discipline is the key to everything. And a lot of times discipline feels like it's robbing us of the fun, but all the fun that they push to our community actually robs us. Like, think of all the sections we bought, the bottles we bought, the women we dated, the clothes we bought. What value has it brought us? None. And if we hunker down for 2 years, 3 years, we can really live our dream. So I know it's not the sexiest answer that people want, but discipline does lead to freedom.
Right. How important is it that we circulate the dollar, the black dollar? I don't want to make this a black or white thing, but you mentioned it earlier. We have the power to influence industries, products, services. I don't remember the percentage, but our dollar leaves our hand immediately.
Yeah.
Where in other
I think it's in less
cultures,
than 30 minutes.
it exchanges hands 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times before it leaves that community. How can we change that way of thinking? How can we spend money in our communities to bring back the Tulsa perspective and mentality when we talk about, the black dollar?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think we love enough each other enough to want to circulate the dollar amongst the community.
Wow. Let's let that breathe.
So even if you, God rest Takeoff Soul, and I won't touch on the behind the scenes stuff with that, but when we have a proliferation of drill music in East Coast, I'm from the Midwest and down south, and we are being programmed to kill each other, which is the exact opposite of what love is. If I can train you to want to kill and listen to other people being killed and spinning a block on your ops, if you're going to spin a block on your ops with which are other black people, you're not going to spin with each other, because that's where the real revolution is going to take place. And regardless of if Kyrie and Ye was wrong in their commentary, the core of what they were trying to say is like, build with us. But if I train you through music and movies from early on to hate other people and hate and make it Brooklyn versus Bronx, Chicago versus Atlanta, that breaks away the foundation of love that will allow us to circulate that. So I'm a huge fan of rap music, but I think one of the first things we have to address is us not loving each other enough, and what we put into our brains, which ultimately affects our pockets and why we don't do business with one another.
I love that. When I said let it breathe, I hope people allow that to sink in. It's a love for ourselves, like you said. It's a love for our community. It's a love for the generations that are coming behind us and the examples that we're setting for them. If they see us perform and behave in a certain manner, and that's all they know, we can't expect them to do any better than what they've seen.
Absolutely. I mean, even for black men, I said all the time, but like most black men want to get money so that they can then go buy Italian brands to go flex on other black people. You're putting another family's name on your chest and Mike and Mary in your chest to death to stunt on somebody else black, but will not support or even retweet a black brand. There are black luxury brands out there that we could support, but people want to support Louis, Balenciaga. I mean, I'm in Houston. Every time I go to the Louis store and walk past, it is a line out of there like they're giving away merchandise, and they're not.
Right.
We have to start with home first.
It's priced properly. It's priced in their favor, and
absolutely.
And we're spending that 5,000 where you could spend 500 with someone that you even know,
Yeah.
to allow them to get the resources to want to grow their business so that they can have a $5,000 product.
But the truth is, do most people in our community even want to get rich? Most men want to look rich just so they can have enough probability of having someone to sleep with.
Mm.
We're gonna be real. Most people go to Gucci and spend $5,000 and come home and still get on YouPorn. It's not the clothes, like it's you.
It's you.
It's you.
It is absolutely you.
Yep.
And I'm gonna leave that right there.
Yeah, we'll leave it there. We'll keep it clean.
I'm gonna leave that right there.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm very proud of, respectfully, because sometimes when people say proud, it almost feels as though like you didn't believe that person could do it or had the ability. I'm so proud, brother, of what you're doing, from the Apollo Theater
Thank you.
to Madison Square Garden. Not too many. I'm getting goosebumps as I'm telling you this. Not too many are able to do one, but to do both.
Yeah. That's
I
iconic.
want to talk about Market Mondays, live from Madison Square Garden. What can we expect? What do you have up your sleeve that you can tell us without giving away everything? Because I love the element of surprise.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to most with Market Mondays as a touchdown at MSG?
On the education side, I'm looking forward to telling people how to make money in a recession. Because to be very honest, during a recession, that is a time when there's a wealth transfer, and that's the time to get rich. So I'm going to cover the 25 companies to invest in long term. Most importantly, the 50 to stay away from. I'm going to give away a formula for how to make $150,000 in a quarter trading. But also, we're going to inject the entertainment part. So Jadakiss is going to be there. Shout out to the brother, like him
My
and
man,
Styles
Kiss.
has always been super supportive. We're going to do trap karaoke in the beginning with Mouse Jones. Shout out to Mouse. Josh Brown will be there from CNBC. Peter Tuckman, who's the Einstein of Wall Street. And we got a few other special guests. I'm waiting for Champ to sign this paperwork before we can announce that. But we got a big guest that's going to be coming to be interviewing. We was trying to get 50, but 50 hard to get in contact with, man. And I know he's doing a world tour. So
Well,
maybe when we go next year.
home, he's home. So I'm gonna make
Hey, listen, tell Fifth.
I got you. I gotta, no promises, but I'm gonna see if I could just
please
give
do
you the alley-oop.
Yeah, and bring my brother Amari out too if we can, so we can have a little power reunion.
Yeah. That's actually, like, he and I are really, really close. Shout out to Amari. Amazing young man. I've had the opportunity to call my brother way before Power.
That's fire.
And that's a story for another day when we're talking about men and us having real conversation and real dialogue about our journeys and how we met and things that we had to sustain that we don't talk about as men of color. You know,
we need more of those conversations.
We need more. And this financial literacy piece is a very important part, because for some people, Ian, this is part of the nucleus, whether it's dealing with family, whether it's dealing with friends, whether it's dealing with marriage, whether it's trying to push your children forward in terms of getting them an education. This piece is a very important piece, brother. And I commend you. I commend Earn Your Leisure for all that y'all are doing, because you guys are making the financial literacy piece sexy. You're making it cool. You're making it hip hop. Yeah. And sometimes you have to put sugar in the medicine for people to even want to say, man, if Ian does it,
I can do it.
I could do it.
Absolutely.
And he looks like what I look like. He got the fitted on. He got the shell toes on. You understand what I'm saying? So
the most important thing I want to stress to Black entrepreneurs, you can be an incredibly successful entrepreneur while still being yourself. Because if someone would have told anyone 3 years ago, Black guy that likes hip hop, that curses, he's going to be a leader in the investment space, from a business case standpoint, it sounds like an error. But what I saw is most people were not comfortable being themselves. And also, like, when you know your craft, you don't have to play a character like most people do in corporate. So for me, even coming where I'm from, East Chicago, Indiana, and growing up like next to Gary and next to Chicago, Illinois, in every culture, people respect honesty. And they may not understand it immediately, but whether it's being authentic or keeping it real, keeping it 100, as the kids will say, People want honesty, and especially when the money is messed up and the market is falling apart, people need that truth. And if you can lead people while things are messed up, when things are really great, you'll have an even bigger fan base. So all entrepreneurs watching, continue to be yourself. You don't have to play a character or be someone that you're not in order to have success.
Be your authentic self. I,
Absolutely.
I love it. What is the best piece of advice that you've been given that as a young man you listened to, maybe didn't really understand how to apply it, but as you matured,
Hmm.
you say, man, I'm so glad my mom said that, or my pop said that,
Yeah.
or my grandmother said that, or aunt, or just someone who just a passerby just said, hey, Ian, let me
Yeah.
drop this gem on you. What can you share that you learned that can help whoever's watching or listening today who is trying to find a way out, trying to
Yeah.
find the light at the end of the tunnel, who's trying to figure out the 40-40-20,
Hmm.
that's trying to figure out how they're going to pay the light bill,
Yeah.
put their kids through college, or even put themselves through college.
Yeah. I
That can
have
help
two
them.
great pieces of advice. Number one, the first one is from my mom. My mom will always be every day, every morning, get your lesson. And the remnants of that is learn something new every day that will give you an advantage. Because the ultimate job for every business is to be able to do something else, do something that no one else in the world can do. The only way you do that is with information. And Nipsey was a person that was beginning to push this narrative very heavily. And with his passing, I feel like some of that steam went away. But there are certain books that you can read. And I hated reading when I was in high school and growing up. But then I learned that the school system gives you books that we would hate. So you don't desire to read more to get the information that will help you do better. And number two, my dad always would tell me a lies is only good till the truth shows up. And especially in investing, the thing outside of like me making good predictions and good calls, the thing that's helped my brand the most grow is just always being honest. Because we notice in business, especially in the entertainment realm, most people are trained to not tell the truth or manipulate or lie a lot. So when I'm
Mm,
just honest, regardless of how a person feels about me, they're like, well, no, Ian's going to be honest with you no matter what. It may not pay off huge dividends in month 3 or 4, but year 2, 3, 4, 5, it has a tremendous impact. So don't lie and learn something new every day. That's going to be your ultimate edge. Even if we look at artists, how many artists, and I was just talking to Christy about this, like how many artists were hot as hell at one time and they stopped being great at their craft, stopped recording every day, or they stopped learning about the business and began to coast. And then somebody came and passed them up who learned more.
oh, I could give you story upon stories. I've been I've
The-
been I've, I've been in the background. I could tell you people that you haven't even heard of, and,
yeah,
and what happened. So there's a million of them, Ian.
yeah,
There's a million of them.
yeah. So
So
so learn every day, be honest, and then if you have a right business model, everything will take care of itself after that. Absolutely.
music is a soundtrack to our lives. You are a hip hop head.
Thank you.
You are a lover of music. Uh, what song best represents your journey up to this point? You have a lot of life left to live.
Thank you.
You got more things to accomplish, more people to inspire and motivate. But up to this point, what song best represents your journey?
I've never been asked this question before. I'm a diehard Tupac fan. I'm gonna have to go with 50. One of my favorite songs from him that was a single, and Interscope was playing games, so they kind of throttled the success of it. But I get it in. So like
Mm.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I get it in. That's been my blueprint. Like every day, just to work on whatever I wanted to be great at every single day. And like I said before, I know discipline and routine normally sounds boring, but I want people to think of routine is the elixir that you need to be able to have success. Like we all know people, whether they're artists, business people that are really talented, but they may only work on a craft 2 or 3 days a week.
Mm.
So even with Market Mondays, we never missed a show, never missed a live show, never been late. Everyone that I know that has created the success that we want works on their craft every single day for years. That is their blueprint. And I pass up a lot of people that may have been more talented than me just by consistently putting in work. So I get it in would be like the soundtrack for my life that I'll play like on the plane when I'm working, when I'm at home. Um, yeah, so shout out for fifth for that one. That was one of my favorites.
Man, Ian, this has been amazing. If you're watching, you're listening, this is Ian Dunlap. He is the master investor, stock market expert,
Thank you.
all around amazing young man. If you didn't hear anything he said, here's a couple of takeaways. A lie is only good until the truth shows up. If
Mm-hmm.
you want to do something at the highest level and you want to do it to the best of your ability, like your life depended on it, it is about execution. It is
Mm-hmm.
about consistency. It is about learning something new every day, taking small steps, making sure that even when you're investing, not only your money, but your time and your
Mm-hmm.
human capital, that you find something safe about what it is that you're doing. And make sure that you're around like minded people, not that you all think alike, but you all have goals, dreams, and aspirations that you see taking you to the next level. He is
Absolutely.
doing it big. Red Panda Academy is doing this thing. The conglomerate is coming, and more importantly, you're going to see this gentleman Market Mondays, Madison Square Garden.
Let's go.
I'm looking forward to it, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ian Dunlap. Ian, where can we find you? Where can we follow you? And how can they get tickets to Market Monday?
You can go to Ticketmaster.com and just type in Market Mondays at Madison Square. It'll pop up link on my bio on Instagram as well. You can follow me at the Master Investor or join redpanda.com and sign up for the email list, and I'll send you the information there as well. I'm looking forward to meeting you, brother. I
Looking
can't
forward
wait to get your information and get you your tickets. But yeah, everyone tune in. It's going to be an amazing show. The show is designed to make you money, so this is not theory. It's not a theoretical approach. And then also you're going to get to meet people that have had success with me. And another thing I tell entrepreneurs, come because you may meet your business partner there. Or if you have a great business while I'm in the city, pitch me at the show. I'm interested in investing in businesses and partnering people. So I would even say if you're looking to partner with me or Troy Rashad, you should come, pitch, have your pitch deck ready, hand it to me. If it's a good business, I'll be all in and we can make some money together.
ladies and gentlemen. This is Ian Dunlap. I am your host, June Archer. You have just witnessed being in the winner's circle. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like it, love it, share it. As I always like to end, please tell somebody you love them. It may be the
Yes.
last opportunity you have to do so. Malcolm and Martin used to do this, Ian, and we don't do it enough. Brother, I love you. Keep
I
doing
love you
what
too,
you're
man.
doing. And thank y'all so much for tuning in. It's your boy June Archer, the Winner Circle. Peace.
Thank you, brother.